Hi, Deborah. Karina here, your lucid living coach. I am just going to try this mirroring thing because I want to show you your chart before we start. Okay, so here's your chart. I hope you could see it. And on the outside are the transits that are happening to you right now. And then these are the inside planets. These are your planets. So do you see how your sun's in Leo, Pluto's in Leo, conjunct in your 12th house, but it's conjunct your ascendant. Okay, this is how people see you. And then you have your Venus and your Mercury. Uh-oh, timed out. Then you have your Venus and your Mercury in Virgo in the second house. See, there's the second house, and it's where your south node is. So your south node is where you're moving away from, and I'm going to talk about that more in your reading. And then you have Saturn, which is an outer planet, and that is in Virgo. And then you have your Mars in Cancer in the 12th house. So all these planets are in your 12th house. Don't worry about these, but Mars is an inner planet. And then you have your Jupiter in Aries over here in your 9th house of belief, spirituality. You're really in tune with a lot of things around you, right? And then you have your moon in the 4th house of Cancer in Scorpio. So you're a Scorpio moon. And it's at the bottom of your chart. So this is the lower horizon of your chart, and this is the upper. So you kind of keep your emotions and stuff hidden. That's another thing that I'll be talking about because there's other aspects in your chart, like this conjunction right here. So you have Pluto at 19 degrees, you have your sun at 17 degrees of Leo, and it's merging its energies with Pluto. Pluto is the planet that is hidden. It's much like Scorpio. So you actually have a lot of Scorpio type qualities. Now your Venus is what you enjoy, what you like. Maybe you like organizing, cleaning. You like aesthetically like nice things, which makes sense because you are in the feng shui. And then your Venus or your Mercury is right here at 3 to 13 degrees. And this is all about the way that you communicate. And it's kind of how your mind works. So you really are detail oriented and you see patterns, very analytical. And your moon it's not in a very good place astrologically. Because Scorpio likes to be hidden. So, and the moon is your emotions, it's your soul. So you definitely have you have depth to you, a lot of depth. And Mars is kind of your drive, it could even be your sexual drive too. It's what you're attracted to. So you're like more into like more maybe feminine energy, someone that likes to be at home, someone that likes to cook, and that is nurturing, naturally nurturing, and makes you feel safe, like you're like at home. And you said you're married, so that's awesome. And for a long time too. Let's see, the Mars, yeah, and the 12th house. So someone that's very connected and sensitive also to energies. And yeah, Mars is also our drive and our passion. And so when something that is usually a fire, it's an Aries planet. Usually it's best in a fire element, but it is in a Cancer element, which is water. So you can find maybe it's really hard for you to get motivated, but now is not the time to be sitting back. This is the time to take action because here's all the transits. Do you see all these transits that are happening? They're in this area of your chart. This is death and transformation. This is this house right here. There's a lot of letting go and a releasing and healing. Okay. There is, and this also has to do with shared resources and inheritance and stuff like that. Now, this area right here is the 9th house, and this has to do with your beliefs, what you believe, your spirituality, higher education, foreign travel. Okay. And all these planets are going to be heading to what house? The 10th house of career and legacy. And this is the main focus of this reading, because I know that you are making big moves. You want to write a book, and that is a good time. And at the very end of the reading, I have the best time frame for you to launch your book. So I'm excited. Let's get right into it. I'm going to take that off and start with the slides. Now, there is a lot of slides to go through because I'm very detailed when I do my readings. Actually, this is probably the longest one I've done, but I saw a lot going on, and I really wanted to give you a little taste of everything. Because if you decide maybe in the future that you want to specifically do like, hey, I want 4 transit readings a year, then you know how I do things. I break it down. And then also if you wanted a full progressed reading, or a full natal chart reading. But so yeah, let's get right into it here. Let me see. Okay, so the natal chart is a map of the sky at the exact moment of a person's birth, and the transits will tell how today will be affecting you and predict where the energies will be focusing. And I will be focusing on transits mostly. I am putting progressions in as well. Now, this is another form of your natal chart. It actually has the aspects inside, and then the green parts along the outside are the transits that are happening right now. So Pluto is a big player right now that's happening, because Pluto is at 29 degrees of Capricorn, and it's moving into 0 degrees of Aquarius next week on Thursday. So on the 23rd. So this hasn't, okay, so let's just say Pluto hasn't been in Aquarius since 1500s. So it was there from 1532 to 1552. And so it will be here for 20 years, but this year is going to be kind of bipolar. So this Pluto will be dipping in and out 29 degrees of Cap and 0 degrees of Aquarius, which are anaretic degrees in astrology. So it's very, very, very significant times this year in a huge shift into the new world. Now, it looks like you have a couple quincunxes from Mercury to Jupiter in the 9th. So quincunxes are in conjunctions, which there's just something that these planets are not like communicating. Like they don't have each other's numbers, and they're trying to communicate telepathically. Okay, that's how bad these 2 planets are. So it could even be like your value and your beliefs are like, they're kind of wonky. Also down here, where your moon in your 4th house, also like your soul, your emotions in home is having a hard time with or communicating with Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is the biggest and luckiest planet of the solar system. It wants to gift you with luck. Now, yours is retrograde, which means that it's very close to Earth, and sometimes it doesn't work when it's close to Earth. However, throughout our lives, the more retrogrades I see in someone's chart, then they are kind of genius in a way, because they've had to work particularly harder on those areas. So maybe yours is just your belief system. Maybe it's like your education, but you have a lot of luck here. You have a lot of luck in the area of foreign travel and spirituality and belief, and being kind of that guru. Like you know what you know. You've worked hard. You have gotten your education, you put in the hard work and the diligence. And for some reason, you just might still not be thinking that you're good enough, or you know enough to really be the perfection, or, you know, be the guru or the teacher about things, but you are. So that's just something in your chart that you just have to get over and meditate on, and understand that you are, you're wise, you're a wise woman, and you have a lot of knowledge to share. Anytime I see any planets in Virgo, I see someone that never feels like they're good enough, that they continue to get more and more education and more, read more books and do more practices and this, like this, but they never feel like they know enough because of that perfection and that analytical mind. But not everyone's like that. So we have to remember that we know a lot more than we believe we do. So that is kind of, and I'm only touching on a couple of things in your natal birth chart that actually stuck out to me. So these are, blue lines are positive aspects. So trines and sextiles. And then the red aspects are squares and oppositions. So they're kind of harder energy, right? And so I really don't see too much except this moon square your sun, and that's hard, right? So when you have a moon square sun, especially a Pluto, you have a hard time, especially being a Leo, which wants to be on stage and wants to be seen, and you want to hide. You're like, no, I'm okay. I'll just sit back here. And, you know, and that's probably why that you decided to get into Toastmasters, to get comfortable being seen and being on stage, because that is where you need to be right now. Okay. Now you have a rising Leo, sun in Leo like me. Your moon is in Scorpio. Your Mercury is in Virgo, and your Venus is in Virgo, and your Mars is in Cancer. Now, these are all your aspects. I will not be talking about these because I'm focused on your transits, but I did star the ones I'm going to talk about. And you have now what is in your chart. And so you could do your own research if you'd like, or you could order a full natal chart reading from me. Now, you're powerful and you're intense with this Pluto square your moon. So when the natal moon is in the 4th house, it's home. And it's squared to your natal Pluto that's in the 12th house, which is like your unconscious and your dreams and the things that we're not really aware of. It's the things that we hide too. So it suggests like a complex and intense emotional nature that may be influenced by your hidden or your unconscious patterns and tendencies. So the moon represents your emotional nature, right? Your instinct. It also represents your mother. So your mother could have been really intense, maybe controlling. Maybe she was the one always in the home. And maybe she was like overly, right, controlling or protective, or maybe she just she wasn't always there. So it just depends. But when I see some moon in the 4th house, I think that very nurturing, but very protective and at home. So the moon represents your emotional nature and your instincts and your sense of security and comfort. It also represents your relationship with your mother and your early childhood experiences. Now, the 4th house is associated with your home and family and inner emotional world. So Pluto, on the other hand, represents this deep, transformational, powerful, intense planet that was demoted, right? It also represents the hidden aspects of our psyche and our unconscious patterns and tendencies. So the 12th house is associated with the unconscious, spirituality, and hidden influences. Now, the square aspect between the moon, and Pluto suggests a potential conflict between your emotional needs and your unconscious tendencies. You may have an intense emotional experiences that are difficult to understand or express. And you may struggle with issues related to power and control in your relationships with others. You may also have a deep-seated fears and insecurities that can trigger that can be triggered by your relationships or your home environment. And so this is why you might always just like to do things on your own, like solo. You'd rather not even deal with things. You kind of like to have that control, and you want things to go a certain way, your way, you know? And so when you have like a partner, like a business partner or whatever, then you find it hard. And maybe it's just not being able to stand up for yourself with that Mars and Cancer in the 12th house. It's like you kind of you're more like okay, well, I think guess if you think, you know, so you know, it's just working on that and being able to be very direct in what your intentions are, what you want. And in this life, that's kind of what you're learning, because your North Node is in the 7th house. And we'll talk about that. So, however, this aspect also offers the potential for deep emotional healing and transformation. You may be able to access the work through hidden and repressed emotional patterns, and to release old wounds and trauma. You may also have a strong connection in the spiritual realm, or be able to assess higher states of consciousness through your emotional experiences. Overall, this suggests a complex and intense emotional nature that may be influenced by hidden or unconscious patterns and tendencies. With awareness and self-reflection, you can use this aspect to gain deeper insights into your emotional nature and to transform old wounds and limitations. Okay. Wet the whistle. Oh, that's really good. I just want to make sure it's recording. Okay. So the sun, which is our vibrancy, our life, how we emit, and it's blending its energies with Pluto, the god of the underworld. So, and it's sitting on your ascendant, and this is how people see us in the world. So yeah, this is these two energies are bleeding, and it, you know, it has a lot to do with fears of being seen. And you may have internalized your feelings in fear of truly sharing yourself. You may have had to work hard to allow yourself to be vulnerable and expressing yourself openly. It's possible that you have felt at most in your life alien. You have possibly have felt most in your life alienated or alone, like no one understands you or no one really knows who you are. This is now changing big time. Or it should, because all these planets are moving to the top of your chart. The top of your chart is everything where people see you. This is your career, your legacy, like showing yourself, being in the eyes of the public, social eyes. So your natal sun is conjunct and merge with Pluto in the 12th house. It suggests powerful and transformative personality with a deep connection to the unconscious and the hidden aspects of the psyche. So like the sun, and you probably already know this, is your core identity. It's your self. It's your sense of self. It's your ego. It represents your vitality, your creativity, leadership qualities. 12th house associated with the unconscious, spirituality, and hidden influences, right? So this Pluto, on the other hand, represents the deep transformation, power, intensity, and hidden aspects, psyche, unconscious tendencies, all this stuff. And so it suggests a personality that is intense, powerful, and driven. You may have a strong sense of purpose or a desire to make a significant impact in the world. And you are, and it's happening, and you're continuing to do it. So you may also have a deep connection to the conscious and natural abilities to access higher states of consciousness. Very cool. Oh yeah. Because you have this outer planet conjunct your sun. You are actually, you have alien aspects. I have alien aspects too. There's this one astrologer that focuses on alien aspects. I will send you over what he sent me. But yeah, you're definitely probably a power alien. And you have like all these special gifts. So that's exciting. I love to see when outer planets are conjunct inner planets, because it really tells me this person has depth. They have like empathy, compassion, and they're intelligent, because they have like this intelligence through harder experiences in life, right? You may have a strong sense of purpose or desire to make a significant impact in the world. And you may also have a deep connection to the unconscious and natural abilities to access higher states of consciousness. Yes. Okay. However, this conjunction can also bring challenges, as you may struggle with issues related to power control and vulnerability. You may have a tendency to be secretive or to keep your true thoughts and feelings hidden from others. You may also have a fear of losing control or being exposed. Overall suggests a complex, powerful personality with deep connection to the unconscious, hidden aspects in psyche. With awareness and self-reflection, you can use this aspect to transform old wounds and limitations and to access deeper levels of insight and consciousness. So with awareness and self-reflection. So that this is what's so great about readings, because it does help with self-awareness. So that's all for the natal transits for today. We're going to move on to the exciting transits that are happening and how they're aspecting your natal chart. Expect the unexpected. Now, this particular transit, it's Uranus is making a square aspect to your natal sun. So this is a profound time in your life. And it started last year in May, and this square will be happening until April 6th, which is like coming up soon, next month. So this period indicates a period of change and upheaval in your life. This can be a time, I'm going to minimize me. You don't really need to see me. This could be a time of sudden and unexpected events that can feel disruptive or chaotic, but can ultimately lead to positive growth and transformation. This square aspect is known for creating tension and challenges. So during this period, you may feel a sense of restlessness or dissatisfaction with your current circumstances. You may feel compelled to break free from old patterns and routines and seek out new experiences and opportunities. This transit can also bring about a desire for greater independence and individuality, as Uranus is associated with the rebellious side of us, innovation, radical change. You may feel inspired to pursue creative or unconventional pursuits, or to challenge the authority or status quo, or the way that you've just been doing things. You're like, you know what? I got to change up what I'm doing because it's not working for me. So it's important to approach this transit with an open mind and a willingness to adapt to new circumstances. While it can be a time of uncertainty and upheaval, it can also be a time of great personal growth and liberation. So overall, this Uranus square your sun is a powerful, transformative transit that can help you break free from old patterns and embrace new possibilities in your life. You have a lot to look forward to, though. I just like to say that. All right, so the career and home expansion is going to be ongoing. So it's not going to end, right, April 28th. But this Jupiter conjunct your natal MC. And it's working. It's making its way up. Right now, it's at 15 degrees of Aries in your 9th house. So it will completely conjunct. Let me move this forward real quick. It will completely conjunct on April 28th, right? Okay. No, it's going to continue. So it's the sun. It's the sun that's going to conjunct on May 27th. And it looks like Jupiter is continuing on its way. You have Mercury going retrograde in May. That is going to stay on your MC. So that's actually good because it creates a lot of busyness up on in your area of career and legacy, but it's also what you believe. You're also reconsidering these things until the retrograde ends in May. So like May 14th or 15th. And then you start getting more clarity on like, okay, this is the approach I want to take. This is how I'm going to make things happen. Jupiter moves into Taurus right after Mercury goes direct. So that's like not for anything, right? Because Jupiter is the planet of luck and expansion in your 9th house, and it's now applying to your 10th house of career and legacy. And it's going to switch around the end of May, like literally a couple days after Mercury goes direct in May. And then the North Node, the transiting North Node, is going to hit the top of your chart. And then Jupiter is going to hit the top of your chart. Okay. And it's going to be there like all year. It's crazy. So it's going to be exactly conjunct around June 30th. Okay. So this is really giving you a lot of luck and expansion in this area of being seen in the world. I'm really excited for you. There's a lot going on. So, but Jupiter conjunct the natal MC, this happens all the way until like all summer, pretty much July. But there's a whole big world opens up to you, stepping further into your new public life. So yeah, I mean, Jupiter hangs out. He doesn't move very fast. Like he's going to be in your 10th house of career until like, I think like 2024. So in astrology, the midheaven represents this career and legacy, the overall life direction. When Jupiter is conjunct with your MC, it indicates a time of expansion and growth and abundance in this area. So you're looking at this summer, okay? Like Jupiter is going to be conjuncting your MC probably around June. This aspect can bring new opportunities, success, recognition for your hard work and achievements. You have received promotions. You may receive promotions, awards, invitations to high profile events, which can boost your confidence and reputation. Now, Jupiter conjunct the MC suggests also a time of increased optimism and enthusiasm, motivation, and you may feel more inspired to pursue your goals and dreams and have a greater sense of purpose and meaning in your career. Step out of your comfort zone and embrace these traits in your public and professional life. Embody these even more. There's a supportive current that can maximize your potential at this time. Additionally, Jupiter is associated with a higher learning, wisdom, spirituality. So this conjunction can also bring opportunities for personal growth and development. You may be drawn to new ideas of study, philosophical ideas, or spiritual practices that can deepen your understanding of yourself and the world. Overall, Jupiter conjunct with the MC is highly auspicious aspect that can bring many blessings and opportunities in your career and personal life. However, it's important to remain humble, grateful, and grounded as you navigate these energies to avoid becoming overly confident or complacent. Okay. All right, let's see. Just curious. Maybe I got the year wrong. I sure did. I got the year wrong. So okay. So it's until April of 2024. Now it was a typo. I was like, that is not right. Okay. So now Jupiter applying to the MC, here it is, exact mid-July and November and February of 2024. That's when it exacts. But Jupiter will be transiting your 10th house through literally until like August of next year. So you're good. You have some time. I mean, you have a lot. Let's just say that you have like a whole year to continue to make things happen, to really see results, right? It's like the luck planet is like ready to just like gift you all this stuff. And you really don't have to work hard for it. You know, that's more Saturn, but you have a lot to look forward to. There is a great opportunity for career advancements, payoff, promotions, increased visibility. So this is a great time to put yourself and your work out there. Examples like launching that book that you were talking about, creating that podcast, get out in social media like TikTok. TikTok's actually great for like driving business. That's really good for driving business. Or like YouTube just for information. Rebranding yourself, market, and get as much exposure from the outside world as possible. You want to get out there, like get out there, Deborah. I will beat this into your head. This can be a highly positive and empowering period, but it's important to stay grounded and focus on your long-term goals. With the support of Jupiter's like expansive energy, you may be tempted to take on too much or overextend yourself. It's important to stay organized. And we know you can because you have that Virgo energy. Prioritize your goals, make strategic decisions to ensure that you're making the most of this opportunity. However, with your natal moon in opposition to transiting Jupiter, there may be some emotional tension to navigate during this period. While Jupiter's like up in your midheaven area, in your area of career, which is Taurus, and then your moon's in Scorpio opposing it. Your moon is like being triggered by Jupiter. I mean, you can have a lot of expansive, great energy, but there's a lot of emotion that comes with letting go and releasing and like stepping into your power, right? It's scary. It's not going to be no walk in the park for you, not with this moon square sun, with the sun conjunct Pluto type aspect. The moon represents your emotional needs in your inner world, while Jupiter represents this growth and expansion. And the opposition between these two planets can create tension between your emotional needs and your desire for success and achievement. So just looking for that balance. It's important to stay in touch with your emotions and prioritize self-care during this time. So don't neglect your personal relationships. Don't reject your emotions or your home or maybe the family dilemmas or your mother or your husband, but really find this healthy balance between your professional and your personal life and stay connected to your values and priorities. Overall, Jupiter applying to the conjunction with your midheaven combined with the opposition of your natal moon can be highly transformative and empowering, especially in your career and your public life. With the right mindset and approach, you can use this period to achieve new levels of success and recognition while staying connected to your emotions and your inner world. Now, adventure unfolding here. So this has been happening also since May of last year. Uranus opposes your natal moon. Oh, it's 222 right now. That's a synchronicity. Let's see. Uranus square your natal moon. Oh, oppose. My bad. Oppose. Duh. So it looks like, oh, okay. I got to go back to last year. Sorry. Okay. As you evolve and change, so does the world around you. That's exciting, right? We're all in this together. So we're in March. And Uranus is at 16 degrees of Taurus, and your moon's at 16 degrees of Scorpio. So this is what it's talking about. So it's going to exact on April 7th. Now that wasn't a typo. I was just checking. This has been an ongoing transit. You may feel a strong impulse like right now to do something unexpected or end a longstanding habit. In astrology, when Uranus is in opposition with your moon, it can indicate a time of significant change, upheaval, and unpredictability in your emotional life, your home, your career, your relationships. This aspect could bring sudden and unexpected events or situations that challenge your sense of security, comfort, and stability. You may experience mood swings, restlessness, anxiety as you navigate these changes. Now, if I see this, I always like to tell people ground, eat grounding food, like, anything that grows in the ground, potatoes. I always go to French fries because it's kind of a comfort and grounding food. You want to get your feet off, you get your feet in the soil. You want to go on hikes. You want to be outside walking. Uranus in opposition to the moon can also indicate a need for more freedom and independence and individuality in your emotional life. You may feel a desire to break free from the limiting or restrictive emotional patterns, beliefs, or relationships that no longer serve your highest good. So maybe sometimes it's not even our friends, right? It could be even family members that are just not really healthy for us. So might be a time when you need to, like, I call it detoxing from people. So I like to detox from people. Sometimes I detox from my mom. She could be really negative Nancy, and she could be really controlling and nitpicky and make me feel not good. So sometimes you just got to, like, detox. That's why I say I'm going on a detox. It doesn't mean that we don't love them. It doesn't mean we don't respect them, but we have to think about our own well-being, right? And if we're trying to grow outside of these conditions that we were raised in, we're trying to unfuck ourselves, excuse my language, right? So sometimes we have to detox from people. However, this energy can also create tension and conflict with others. So we kind of want to negate that, right? We don't really want to be putting ourselves around people that trigger us when we're having this kind of aspect or opposition, particularly with those that value tradition and stability and emotional security. So that could be like a Christian mom, okay? Let's say, like, always downing you on your beliefs in feng shui or something. That's just an example. And you're like, for me to fully embrace my gifts and my own beliefs, I need to, like, not listen to these people or these naysayers or these haters or these, like, really narrow-minded people that really, they don't even know what the hell they believe, right? They probably haven't even read the Bible from front to back, right? So it's like things that we have to think about to protect ourselves. You may experience disagreements, power struggles, or sudden breakups in your personal relationships as you assert your need for change and growth. On the opposite side, Uranus in opposition with the moon can also bring a lot of creativity, originality, innovation to your emotional life. So you may feel inspired to explore new ways of expressing your feelings and connecting with others and finding a sense of inner peace and fulfillment. But overall, Uranus in opposition with the moon can be a challenging aspect, but it can also be a catalyst for growth and transformation in your emotional life and your relationships. So by staying open-minded, flexible, and willing to embrace change, you can navigate these energies and come out stronger and more authentic on the other side. So that's really exciting. Like anything that, like, to me, there's nothing like negative or positive. But within the negative, you're always going to end up getting something positive out of it, whether it's just a lesson or like just anything. So the activation of power. Now this is happening. This started like recently. So March 10th. And it's going to be going through August 19th of this year. And this is just your 9th Venus return. Now, Venus's return is when Venus returns the exact position as when you were born. Okay, so your Venus is in Virgo conjunct Mercury. And so this transiting Venus will be there. Let me see here. What's going on? Venus is in Taurus right now. Oh, yeah. So it's going to be transiting Okay, so I see. So it was your Venus opposition, and now it's going to be your ninth Venus return. Let me see. Just want to make sure I'm explaining this right. Yeah, so it'll be your Venus return at the end of October. So August, it will be conjunct your sun. In August, Venus will be conjunct your sun. It'll be transiting your 12th house. So this is going to be exciting. But regardless, this is an activation of power, self-acceptance, embracing the woman that you've become. And now is the time to try something that you have never had the courage to do before. So Venus is kind of that planet of beauty and relationships. Venus returns when the planet Venus returns to the same position as when you were born. So this happens approximately every 8 years. But the ninth Venus return marks significant cycle of completion and new beginning in your love life, relationships, and creative expression. So the ninth Venus return can bring a sense of closure and healing to any past wounds, breakups, or disappointments in your relationships. Obviously, you don't have breakups, you're married. But it could be with your friends, right? And it could be family member. It could be your cousins or your siblings. You may gain a deeper understanding of your values and needs, desires, and love, and find a renewed sense of confidence and self-love. You may feel you are in the moment of rapid growth, both biologically and spiritually. And the last time Venus was activating this area is when you were age 61 through 64. That energy is once again the leading edge of your life, that you're being supported to fully embody your feminine self, expand past blocks of what culture expects of you, and honor your true authentic self. Growth and change are intended to happen now. Now, yeah, Venus is kind of like, she's the things that we don't see. You know, I always see like Venus as being like the cat energy, where their superpowers, they could see things we don't see. They can feel things, right? So it's like the dark, like we don't see. It's like, and then like Mars is like the light, it sees things. So it reminds me, it's like the masculine, right? So feminine, feline, masculine, Mars, dog. Like they see the things in the 3D. So they smell, they hear, they taste, you know, they'll bark. Cats really don't meow to communicate. We talk to communicate, and the cats want to entertain us, really. But yeah, Venus return can also signify a time of exploring new horizons, both in your personal relationships and creative expression. You may feel inspired to travel, learn, and experience new cultures and perspectives that broaden your understandings of love and beauty. Additionally, the ninth Venus return can bring a sense of purpose and meaning in your creative endeavors. You may feel more motivated to pursue your passions and express yourself in a new and exciting way that brings joy and fulfillment to your life. So overall, it's highly auspicious, transformative time in your love life, friendships, creative expressions, and it offers opportunity for growth, healing, and new beginnings that can lead to greater happiness, harmony, fulfillment in your relationships and personal life. Now, the Venus retrograde is happening, and I'm actually really excited about this because it's happening in Leo. Even though like retrogrades are not supposed to be like, you know, people always talk so downly about them, but really it's just slowing down in the sign of Leo. And so that means it's going to stay there for a lot longer, which makes us look amazing. It makes us more likable. And with the retrograde, you'll be more willing to reassess like your career and legacy. Like it kind of slows down our minds a little bit, where we're like, okay, what do I want to be known for and seen in this lifetime? Like what legacy do I want to leave behind? Like, you know, when my life is passed on to another life, like what do I want to leave here? What do I want people to speak about? You know, like when they speak of me, what do I want them to talk about? So, and I put the ephemeris here so you could see. So like, here's Venus, right? Here's Leo, and then you're going to see this R. That means retrograde. So Venus is going to be retrograde around the 23rd, okay? And it's going to just be there. And so it's a really good time to go inward. Okay, it looks like Saturn's retrograde too. So retrogrades is a time of going inward and to slow things down before moving forward. It's like the Sagittarius, like, have you ever done archery and you have to pull back the arrow before you like launch it? So that's what retrogrades are. We're pulling back the arrow and we are looking at where we want to direct our energy and our focus. And then when it goes direct, that's when we move forward. So, and the reason why I say the career and legacy aspect is because your midheaven, which is your career and legacy cusp in your natal birth chart, is in Taurus, which ruler is Venus. And so when Venus is going retrograde, that's the time to rethink your business. So Venus retrograde in Leo, natal first house to the 12th house. So it's going to move into the first house and then it's going to retrograde back into the 12th house. So this is a time to step back, reassess what you really desire and where you're directing your business moves. And what you want to actually, how you want to appear in the world as well. Because the first house is our appearance. So the first and the 12th house in your natal can indicate a time of introspection, reevaluation of your values, friendships, relationships, self-worth. So we have been reassessing anyways our friendships because Mars has been in our 11th house, just like, oh my God, so much action in the area of our friendships and networks. So there's a lot of old friends that are leaving, a lot of new friends that are coming in, and a lot of new friends like leaving because like they don't align with us. And we're like, yeah, I thought that we had a lot in common, or I thought that they weren't a hater, but they are, or whatever it might be, right? So they could have falling outs because Mars is kind of like the aggressor. So we could have more arguments and stuff like that. And when I talked to you on the phone, I did mention that. So when Venus is retrograde in your first house, it can bring focus to your self-image, your self-esteem, your personal desires. You may be reconsidering your style, your appearance. Maybe you want a haircut. Maybe you want a new wardrobe. Overall, your sense of identity. So you may also be reflecting on the past relationships or experiences and gaining a deeper understanding of what you truly value in yourself and others. So the 12th house, when Venus retrogrades into your 12th house, can bring up your unconscious patterns and emotions related to fear and love and self-worth. And these are your unconscious behaviors. You may have a greater awareness of any negative patterns or beliefs that have been holding you back in your relationships or creative expression. So these retrogrades are literally just preparing you, Deborah, for that launch, that all the luck that's really coming to you in your career, like everything's paying off. So overall, this retrograde is a time of healing, growth in your relationships, personal life. It can help you release any old patterns and beliefs that no longer serve your highest good and create space for more authentic and fulfilling connection and experience. However, during this time, it's important to avoid making any major decisions or commitments in love or money. Venus retrograde can bring up illusions, misunderstandings, miscommunications in relationships. So it's best to wait until after the retrograde period to make any significant changes or have those meaningful, deep conversations. Use this time to reflect, journal, meditate, and connect with your inner guidance. By staying open and receptive to the messages and lessons that Venus retrograde brings, you can gain greater clarity, self-awareness, and your personal empowerment in your relationships and creative expression. So you definitely don't want to launch during a Venus retrograde or a Mercury retrograde, especially if it's a book, because Mercury is that journalism. Now, I took everything in consideration also when I put a nice date for your book launch. Now, this is Venus direct in your 12th house, releasing whatever may be getting in your way of success. You may find that you don't want to be in a particular industry or profession, or you're just letting go of like old habits or people or jobs or clients, or your unconscious thought pattern. So maybe you do feng shui on the side, let's say. Maybe you have a regular 9-to-5 job. So maybe this is just the time of like you releasing, but you're probably retired. But who knows? Like, I don't plan on retiring. Yeah, maybe you're just like, oh, I was like doing this kind of work. I was like really focusing a lot of my attention on this, let's say, and you need to redirect your focus on like completely putting it within whatever. Maybe it's your book. Maybe it was feng shui. And now, look, I need to really focus on this book right now. So redirecting, and that Venus retrograde is going to help you reconsider those things. And all the Mercury retrogrades, of course. So Mercury retrogrades are about 4 a year. Now we're going to have Jupiter retrograde, which is happening here, September in the area of Taurus, which is your 10th house of career, because your midheaven's at 9 degrees. And so 15 degrees is in your 10th house. So it's going to retrogrades here. It's going to also bring a lot of luck and expansion even longer, because retrogrades, it slows the planet down. And so that's going to be happening around the 4th, 5th. I find it very interesting that Jupiter will retrograde, will be happening right after Venus goes direct. So here's Venus direct right here. Yeah, you can't make this shit up. So the retrograde is in the house of career and legacy. So it will be retrograde until December 31st, moving direct for the new year, which is another weird synchronistic thing. Like, oh, okay, Jupiter direct, January 1st of 2024. Jupiter back into your house of beliefs and what you know, and where it was around June 11th. So let's just say that you start writing your book. Okay. Let's say you start reassessing like, oh, I don't know if I could do this alone. Maybe I do need a coach, or maybe I do need another author. Maybe I need someone to motivate me. I don't know. Maybe someone to direct me. I don't know what it is. Or maybe it's just like, oh, actually, I think maybe I need, or maybe I want to launch this in this country. Or maybe it's, oh, actually, I wanted to educate myself a little more on this before I like move forward and write the rest on it. So it could even just be that. But what do you think needed reconsidering in your career, or what do you think needed to be revised or renewed in your training or education? Now, Pluto enters Aquarius March 23rd, next Thursday, like I said, and it will be there until June 12th, and it's going to conjunct your natal Pallas. Now, Pallas is kind of like an asteroid. It's not even a planet, but I thought I'd bring it up because it really has to do with like strategy, and it's just sitting on there. And it's going to be bouncing back and forth all this year, 2023. Now, Pallas Athena is our creative genius. She touches on the father-daughter issues and linking the head and the heart and womb. She is the goddess of wisdom and strategy. So during this time, you have a powerful sense of conviction to promote your mission. You might go through a traumatic personal transformation that turns you into an urgent campaign or a mission, which can become your passion. You can easily present yourself as an authority figure in a specific topic. You can become very influential because of your knowledge, expertise, and being able to dig deep and connect the dots. You may you may be called to dramatically let go of all beliefs and plans and embrace your deeper power in mission. Dramatic and deep reformation is warranted, and you play an active role in leading the way. So I will let you know the dates here. Pluto retrogrades June 1st through October 11th. So Pluto will move off of your natal palace back into Capricorn. But see, it's still conjunct. In my opinion, it's still conjunct. June 12th, and will go direct at 27 degrees of Capricorn. This will be revisiting what was happening for you in January and March of this year. So when you're getting this, and a couple months before, this will be taking place in your 6th house of daily routines, health regimens, and this house also rules small animals. So keep an eye on your small animals, keep an eye on your health and your husband's health. And yeah, Pluto will enter back into Aquarius in 2024 to move things forward from spring this year. So Pluto's going to be moving into Aquarius next week, March, April, May, June. It's going to retrograde back into Capricorn in June, and then it's going to go direct in October and go through the same freaking areas. So with retrogrades, you always want to think of 3 points. 3 points, it's going to cross over the same areas. So this has to do with the area for you of your 5th and 6th house. So this could be your 6th house is daily routines, health, that can be being looked at, reconsidered, going back to where it was in January, February, March. And then it's going to go into your 5th house. No, it's not going to go in your 5th house. It's going to stay in your 6th house. Okay, because your 5th house is 21 degrees. So no, because it's going to stop at 27 degrees of Capricorn and then go move forward again. And then it's going to go on top of your palace again, and it's going to start moving forward here. So there's some transformations happening for you. Now, Jupiter returned in the 9th house. So that's coming. Okay. Let me redo this. Okay, so it is your Jupiter return as we speak right now. Jupiter returns are meant to expand your own consciousness related to what you are here to understand about yourself, beliefs that bring you joy and freedom. This is positive expansion and abundant. This also wants to broaden your enjoyment to the things that make you. There is a flow, resources here to support your opportunities that could click in an effortless way, especially because that's all Jupiter is, the luck and expansion, opening doors for you, because this is happening in your 9th house. This could be opportunities of furthering your education, knowledge, or spirituality, like spiritual understanding as well. Travel overseas or foreign lands. Jupiter could open up a lot of something that it could be overwhelming sometimes. Too much of a good thing is not always a good thing, right? So watch out for the overdoing, the knowing it all syndrome, or being ungrounded in the spiritual world. That is the 9th house opposing your Neptune. That's going on. So grounding is very important at this time, as well as making sure that you aren't getting like the wool pulled over your eyes. With this energy, you may be seeing, you may not be seeing things clearly because of that Neptune opposition. All right, the Jupiter return in the night was when the transiting Jupiter returns to the same degree as your Jupiter that you were born with. This is called your natal Jupiter return. Think back to March 2011. What was happening for you? Halfway to your Jupiter return would be the Jupiter opposition, which was May 2017. What were you realizing that you wanted to initiate and communicate, in which you are now completing? Or it could have been a completion, something maybe that was started in 2011, completed in 2017, and you've been trying to figure out, okay, what next? So that could also be happening. Jupiter returns occur when Jupiter makes a full orbit around the sun and returns to the same position it was in the time of your birth. So this typically happens once every 12 years, and it's considered a significant astrological event that can bring new opportunities and growth. With your Jupiter return happening in the 9th house, which is naturally ruled by Jupiter, you may experience a deepening of your spiritual and philosophical beliefs, and you may have a greater desire for knowledge and learning and exploration of new ideas and perspectives. Now, the 9th house is also associated with travel, foreign cultures, higher education. So this could be a time when you expand your horizons and have an opportunity to explore new places and cultures. This could come in the form of travel, education, or spiritual practices. So maybe you have this opportunity to go travel overseas to do like some retreat. Okay, let's say some Buddhist retreat, or like you learn more about like stuff that you're interested in right now. But then you have this, okay, so I'm not looking and not seeing everything very, very, very clearly, and like what I need to do. Or maybe there's like this hidden thing, like, oh yeah, you're going to go out there, but then like you find out that you have to pay the taxes, and the taxes are like $5,000 or something. You just want to be careful. You want to just cross your T's and dot your I's, right? With a natal Neptune. But there is a lot of opportunities for that kind of stuff. So I'd say go, like if you can. I know that there's going to be a pull with your home too. So there may be something challenging to navigate during this period. So Jupiter represents expansion and growth, while Neptune represents illusion, confusion, and unseen worlds. So the opposition between these two planets can create tension, confusion, and may require you to take more discerning and realistic approach to your goals and beliefs. So it's important to stay grounded, avoid getting lost into a fantasy or wishful thinking. This can be a time of great spiritual growth and awakening, and it's important to stay connected to reality and maintain the clear sense of your values and beliefs. So the Jupiter return in your 9th, combined with the opposition to Neptune, can be transformative time of spiritual growth and expanding your horizons, but with the right mindset and approach. You can use this period to deepen your understandings of self and the world around you and discover new opportunities for personal and intellectual growth. So you really just want to like, you have a lot of opportunities, but if you don't have like diligence and like reality, like, okay, well, I have this opportunity to do this, but I need to get this A, B, and C done before I can do that. Right. So we want to make sure that we're making our list and we're checking it twice. We're crossing stuff off daily, whether it's just one thing. Jupiter return 9th house every 12 years. With that being said, the last Jupiter return was at the end of March of 2011. And this is what I wanted to show you. So your Jupiter is at 14 degrees. So here's 14 degrees. There it is. So what were you doing? It's a good time to check because that energy is right back here. Jupiter opposition is a 3rd house. It's your 3rd house of communication, siblings, cousins, really busyness, just running errands to the grocery store, taking, like going here, going there, right? And the last Jupiter opposition was May of 2017. So that's when Jupiter is in the opposite sign in Libra, right? At 14 degrees. So it was around this time right here. See all those 14s. So what was completing for you in this area? Any beliefs around your relationships and communication? This could have to do with cousins or siblings. Okay. So Jupiter retrograde in the 10th, in your natal 10th house and 9th house, conjunct transit Uranus. Wow. Okay. So expect the unexpected in business and your public image. This is happening September 4th through December 23rd of this year. So Jupiter retrograde is going to happen. So it's going to retrograde at 15 degrees of Taurus, which is conjunct Uranus. And then it's going to retrograde back into your 9th house, 5 degrees of Taurus. So you don't have any planets there, but it is going to be expanding this Uranian energy, which is like, what? Like unexpected stuff happening. So Jupiter retrograde in your 10th house can indicate a period of introspection and reevaluation of your career and public image. This is a time when you may question your goals and ambitions and may feel a need to revise your plans and strategies for success. And that's when this Pluto conjunct your Pallas Athena really come in handy. So it's going to start next Thursday. I think you're going to get a lot of intuitive insights. This is where meditation is really good for you. Now, the Jupiter motion, the retrograde motion of Jupiter can also bring up past opportunities and accomplishments or challenges that need to be revisited or resolved before moving forward. So you may need to let go of any outdated beliefs or practices that are holding you back from achieving your fullest potential. You know, maybe you've had some commitments that you're doing and it's just taking up too much of your time, and you're really not feeling like you just feel like it's taking away from your fullest potential. So with transiting Uranus conjunct Jupiter in your 10th house of career, you may experience sudden and unexpected changes in your career and your public image. Uranus represents innovation, change, disruption, and it can bring a sense of excitement and adventure to your professional life. So that's exciting. Popping off for you. So these changes can come as a surprise, but can ultimately lead to greater freedom, creativity, and authenticity in your work. You may feel inspired to pursue new and unconventional career paths or to take bold risks that bring greater rewards and recognition. Overall, Jupiter retrograde in your 10th house, combined with Uranus conjunct Jupiter, can be a highly transformative and empowering time for your career and your public image. It offers the opportunity to let go of any limiting beliefs or practices and embrace this new and exciting possibility for success and fulfillment. It's important to be mindful of any impulsive or reckless decisions and stay grounded and focus on your long-term goals. With the support of Jupiter's expansive energy and Uranus innovative spirit, you can create a path towards success that aligns with your highest values and purpose. So that's awesome. Now, Venus is applying also to your MC. There is success available for you this year if you apply yourself. So make sure that you're staying 100% in your positive manifestation mode. It's a great time to make a vision board. And now is the great time to make that vision board with all of your goals and what you want to manifest for in this new year. And I want you to be specific. Take out specific images. So if it's your book launching and getting international bestseller, then I want you to pull up a picture. If you already know the title of your book, pull up an image of a book, print it out, write the title of your book, put it on your vision board, and then put international bestseller. Or you could also put a book and put completed. Okay. So when Venus is applying to a conjunction with your natal midheaven, it indicates a period of increased social and professional success. The midheaven represents your public image and your career aspirations, while Venus represents harmony, beauty, and attraction. So Venus approaches your midheaven, it forms this conjunction, and you may experience a heightened sense of charm, charisma, attractiveness, and this can be a time when you're able to make positive impressions on others, and you may receive new opportunities for social and professional growth. So Venus will be opposing your moon. So anything and everything that's coming up to your 10th house, your 9th and 10th house, is going to be opposing your moon, because your moon's in your 4th house of home. So you have this like polarity, this poling in both areas, right? Your emotions and being able to like be vulnerable and to really embrace the limelight, okay? The Leo limelight. But yeah, overall, this is a time when you are able to make positive impressions on others. You may receive new opportunities for social and professional growth. And opposing your moon, there may be some emotional tensions that you have to navigate during this period. The moon represents the inner world and the emotional needs, while Venus represents this beauty and attraction, right? So the opposition between these two can bring a desire for harmony and beauty and your emotional needs and instincts. So yeah, it's just like getting out of your own way, you know? Venus is applying to the MC. It supports stay in touch with your emotions and prioritize self-care during this period. Don't neglect your personal relationships or your own well-being in pursuit of this professional success, but find a healthy balance between that personal and professional life. Stay connected to your values. But it says, okay, so Venus applying to a conjunction with your midheaven, combined with the opposition with your natal moon, can be transformative, empowering time for you, social and professional life. With the right mindset and approach, you can use this period to make positive changes in your career and public image while staying grounded in your emotions and your inner world. So it's just balancing like all this energy that's happening in your career. And I just saw a ladybug fly by my window. That's good, really good luck. And like all this luck, right? And expansion that's happening at the top. But then you also have your home needs, your nurture, you kind of like to hide from the world and you like to get all cozy at home, and so that might be toying with that rest and that home life, right? Or maybe there is just a lot going on in the home that is like needing your attention. That's really taking away from the career stuff. So it's just like having to balance these two. Saturn is a planet of structure and diligence and hard work and commitment. Now, Saturn entered Pisces already. I think it was like May 7th. And so this Saturn's been in Aquarius for the last 3 years. And so now Saturn moved into Pisces and it'll be here for another 3 years. Now, the focus is very different from Aquarius to Pisces. So the Saturn rules your 6th house of work and health and your daily work routines. So there's like huge transformations happening because now Saturn's in Pisces, which is like the ending. It's like ending cycles. Like, okay, I'm done with this. I've been doing this long enough and it's time to move forward. Like we got to just clear it out for the next 3 years. Like I'm going to be working on clearing out my routines. Like my work routines are going to change. Like shit's popping off. Like I have a lot that I need to be doing. Be consistent, maintaining good, healthy routines and habits. Your health should be number one priority. And anything that would disturb that, it needs to go. Like just like if it's like drinking wine every night or whatever it might be, and it's getting you mind clouded and it's getting you tired. You're not really feeling like working out. You're not really feeling on working on things because you're all foggy minded. It needs to go. You just got to stop. So I don't know what it is that is transforming in the area of your daily routines, your work or your health habits. But it's transforming. So Saturn also rules your 7th house of partnerships. So if you're in a relationships, this might be a time you two are like moving to the next level, okay, of commitment, either buying a property together, going into business together. I mean, I don't even know how like your husband's health is, but it could be that too. So just because your 6th house is your routine, right? And your 7th house is partnership, there could be something changing in your relationship routines. Saturn entered Pisces, May 7th, and we'll be there until February 13th of 2026. So this next 3 years, this is what is kind of, it's dissolving anything that is no longer necessary in your life, including your relationships. So you are at a point in your life when you should not be settling for anyone that is not meeting you halfway or making the relationship reciprocal. This is friendships, business partnerships, family, siblings, cousins, neighbors, relationships that come during this time in the next 3 years may have more karmic feel. So there are things that could feel more serious. You may meet a potential business partner. You have to work harder to maintain any new relationships during this period. Anywhere you've tried to control or hold on too tight in relationships or partnerships, it will be realized and dissolved. So we want to make sure that we're just like, going with the flow, because that's what Pisces is. It's water. And I just had Saturn running through my, 7th house the last year and a half. And, well, it was 3 years, obviously, a couple of years. That house is actually pretty small for me, but, it was there, and I had a hard time with my relationship with the guy I was seeing. Like, I had to work like extra hard to maintain that relationship. And then when Saturn moved out of my 7th house, he disappeared. So it's just like, it's a karmic, you got to work harder to maintain it. I mean, who knows what it's going to be like for you? All right. I'm going to take a little rest break and I will be back. Is it going to pop up or what? What's going on? Let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm just going to pause this. Hey, I'm back. Had to get more of this lemonade. Berry lemonade from Trader Joe's and put like vanilla. It's so good. The vanilla makes it taste like a cream soda. All right, so Saturn transiting natal 7th and 8th house, which I just talked about, applying to an opposition to your natal Mercury and Venus. So transforming your relationships with people, money, and yourself. So March through April of 2024. So it's going to be, of course, this March to April 2024. Saturn opposing your natal Mercury exacts on March 26th. Let me just see, March 26th. So that will be March 26th. That'll be obviously next year because I'm not seeing it. I'm going to go move this year. Boom. Yeah. So March of next year. So March 26th of 2024. That's when this is going to be an exact opposition. And then May through June of 2024 will be Saturn opposite natal Venus, and that will exact on May 21st. So those are dates. This is why I type everything out, because there's so much. So when Saturn is transiting your 7th and 8th houses, in astrology indicates a period of intense growth and transformation in your relationships, as well as your approach to intimacy and sharing resources. Now, in the 7th house, Saturn can indicate a period of testing and challenges in your relationships. You may feel more serious and focused and committed commitment and responsibility, and may encounter obstacles or limitations in your partnerships. However, with the right mindset and approach, these challenges can also be opportunities for growth and strengthening your relationships. In the 8th house, Saturn can bring focus on shared resources and finances. You may need to take a more disciplined and responsible approach to managing your finances, and may encounter obstacles or delays in areas such as taxes, debts, inheritances. However, this can also be a time of taking control of your financial situation and building a more stable foundation in your future. Now, you know what I noticed, and I've known quite a few people, that when Saturn moves finally into the 8th house, you can feel like a little bit of like paranoia of like your health. I mean, so I'm so healthy. But when Saturn popped into my 8th house, I was just like, oh my God, do I have like a heart problems, or was my heart palpitating, or like overly focused on my health? And it's actually when Saturn's in someone's 8th house, like natal birth chart, like they have fears of like dying and stuff like that. So if you're having any of those thoughts, like know that that's just Saturn fucking with you in your 8th house and you're fine. And if you need to just get a doctor checkup or whatever, to just make sure that you feel better, whatever it takes. Okay, as Saturn opposes your natal Mercury and Venus at different times, of course, during this transit, there may be some challenges to navigate in your communication and relationships. So Saturn opposition to Mercury can indicate a need for more disciplined and structured thinking, and you may need to work harder to express yourself clearly and effectively. With Venus, with Saturn opposition, can indicate a need for more commitment and responsibility in your relationships. You may encounter challenges or limitations in the areas such as love, pleasure, and social activities. Overall, Saturn transits through your 7th or 8th house can be transformative, empowering time for your relationships and financial situation. While there may be challenges to navigate, this can also be a time of building a stronger foundation in your future and taking control of your life in new ways. By staying disciplined and committed to your goals, you can make the most of this period and emerge stronger and more resilient than ever before. So whatever happens is happening in your life that could possibly be unexpected or whatever. Just know that all those things are really to align you with your life's purpose and destiny. Okay. Transit Mercury conjunct your natal North Node. And that's why I speak. So Mercury, go to today. So Mercury was conjunct March 7th through the 10th. So I think maybe that might have been somewhere around the time that you contacted me. I'm not sure. Your mind was stimulated and ready to build something for your future. Your imagination, oh no, that was in February. Your imagination was on point. The best use of this time is strategizing a plan of action. So your path will be more illuminated as you start moving towards your calling. Working with a partner is important on your path. You don't have to do everything alone. You are being asked to join alliances to build your empire. Going into business with a business partner may be scary, but it may be just what you need to feel fulfilled. But it could also be your husband. Who knows? Now, transit Mercury conjunct the node that happened earlier this month, in your natal 7th house. Insights on moving forward in your partnerships and destinies. So that was the dates here. And you could just like read this over. You can pause it, read it over yourself, because it has already passed. And you could ask yourself if this was something. So overall, this transit can be positive transformation time for your relationships and partners. as long as you remain open and willing to learn and grow in your interactions with others. It's important to communicate clearly and honestly, and to be open to new experiences and ideas that can help you achieve your long-term goals in your relationships. So, definitely something to think about is going into business with someone, as far as like doing your books or like whatever it might be. Transits of Mercury, Sun, Neptune, all at 25 degrees of Pisces through your 8th house, and their opposition to your natal Saturn. Manifesting your dream takes hard work. This is happening all right now, March 13th through the 20th, and it exacts on the 16th, which is, I think, today, or yeah, it was yesterday. So today and yesterday, exacts. It's working. It's working. So you have pretty much like transiting, like Mercury, Sun, and Neptune are all at 25 degrees right now, opposing your Saturn. So this transit, Mercury, indicates a time when you may be more intellectually curious and focus on deepening your understanding of complex issues related to money, power, and psychology. You may be drawn to exploring the hidden motives and dynamics behind your relationships and financial dealings, and may also be interested in topics such as death, rebirth, and afterlife. The conjunction of transit Neptune and the Sun, which just happened like Wednesday, Thursday, today, suggests a period of heightened sensitivity and spiritual awareness. You may be feeling more connected to your intuition, and you may be more interested in exploring your mystical and metaphysical beliefs. However, you may also feel more emotionally vulnerable and may struggle to stay grounded in reality. It can also play out as like being kind of tired or not seeing things clearly. The opposition of these transits to your natal Saturn may indicate a need to confront or overcome deep-seated fears or insecurities related to money, power, intimacy. You may feel a sense of pressure or restriction in these areas of your life, and you may need to confront difficult truths and make hard decisions in order to move forward. Overall, this transit suggests a time of deep transformation and growth, where you may need to confront your own limitations and fears in order to move forward towards a more authentic and fulfilling life path. It may be an easy journey, but ultimately it may not be an easy journey, but ultimately it has a potential to bring about profound change and personal evolution. Look, I know that Leos have been going through a lot, for a while, and we're just like waiting for our time. Guess what? It's our time. Like the new moon in Aries is initiating the new year, and it's our year. Lady, it's our year. It's not going to come without challenge. We know the new world has been extremely difficult. We're in between worlds. But it's gonna be very clear in the next like 6 months where the new world is headed. The nodes of the moon explain. So I want to talk a little bit about your destiny points. Now, the south node is the dragon's tail, and you think of this as the energy that you have mastered, either in another life or early childhood, your early life. This is where you feel the most content. The north node is the dragon's head. Think of this as an energy that you're learning in this life to evolve and grow your soul. This is the area that we are to be mastering and embracing. We're the least comfortable in this area, but the more that we move towards this area, the more fulfilled and happy we will be. Your natal south node is in Virgo in the first house of individuality. So you are fiercely independent and you like to do things on your own. This could become an issue at some point if you don't seek out working with others or delegating your responsibilities. The universe has its own way to push you to evolve out of your comforts, where you have to rely on others. This could be very uncomfortable for you, but is necessary for your growth and ultimate happiness. Example, you break your leg and someone has to take care of you or help you out. It's like, oh God, I have to rely on someone else. Oh, I was going to sneeze. Okay, there it goes. Okay, so your natal north node is in Pisces in the 7th house of partnerships. So choose to be open for your partnerships and letting go of control. Learn through your relationships as a part of your destiny in this life. Working with a partner is important on your path. You don't have to do everything alone. You're being asked to join alliances to build your empire. Marriage may also be scary, but it may just be what you needed to feel truly fulfilled. And obviously it has, because you guys have been married for so long. Your journey is to balance your needs with the needs of others, not trying to fix others or overly help and heal others. Learning to lean into relationships that are mutually receptive and not just one-sided. Grow spiritually with others and go deeper into connection. I'm very similar North Node, but mine is opposite. I'm supposed to be focused in my first house of individuality and like releasing, letting go of being dependent in relationships. Now, transit North Node is applying to your natal MC. So another MC applying. I'm sure that you've been feeling the urgency to create and make something that will benefit the collective. Wow, there is so much focus on your career and legacy. The North Node of the moon are in line to help you in your success. This is a great time of prosperity in your life, Deborah. It's time. Launch your work out into the world, and it will be hard to fail with all these energies on your side. You are the master of your trade. You have valued and knowledge to share. The world is waiting patiently to hear what you have to say. I would also love you, maybe we could do like a YouTube. And I typed this because I was thinking of it when I was doing your reading. If you would like to do a YouTube video with me, I could interview you and ask you questions about what you do. I know the feng shui has a lot of connections with astrology, and it would kind of be fun. I thought, I don't know. It's up to you. But yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun. And then if you have a YouTube, you could post it on your YouTube too. Or we could do a live one too. We could do live on TikTokies too. But Mars is been transiting Gemini, which when I talked to you on the phone, you seem to like relate to what was going on with this Mars. A lot of action in the area of networking, groups, friends, friendships, future plans, and Mars is finally going to move out of Gemini and go into Cancer on the 25th, literally in like a week and a half, 2 weeks. Now, Mars has been in Gemini for the last 7 months because of the retrograde last year. But now it is time to move on and forward. It is direct. It's actually leaving shadow. Now, Mars was creating a lot of action in our area of the friendship, communities, networks, future plans. Like I said, many friends showed us who they really are, or that we were shown how much we've really outgrown our current relationships. And yeah, so that lasted 7 months of action. So lots of new and old friends coming and going. We could have had some past relationships, like friendships, reappear, and then you may have quickly remembered why they are not in your life. So Mars also showed us what networks and groups are more aligned and that are assisting us in our growth, and which ones are not, right? So Mars usually moves through a zodiac sign like within like less than a month. Like that is how like mind-blowing it is that Mars has been in the same area of the sky for 7 months. Like it's definitely something that the universe was like trying to work on us in that area. Okay, so as Mars is coming up to the last degrees of Gemini, will be opposing your natal Chiron in the 5th house. Yeah. So today, Mars is at 26 degrees, opposing your Chiron at 27 degrees. So when this Mars is in the 11th house, opposing your natal Chiron in the 5th, you may experience as challenges related to your social connections, friendships, and creative and self-expression. So the 11th house represents our social circles, group activities, community involvements. The 5th house is associated with, it's a Leo house. So it's creativity, self-expression, romance, children, personal passions. And Mars represents your drive, ambition, and action-oriented energy, while Chiron represents our wounds in areas of deep sensitivity. And I really do believe that Chiron is associated with Virgo. Like I have a Virgo moon, you're Virgo, Venus, and Mercury. And so this is really activating something in our values, like what we feel we deserve. So during this transit, you may find that your social connections or group activities are not aligned with your creativity or your self-expressed needs, or that conflict arises in your social circles that trigger deeper wounds or areas of sensitivities for you from when you were a child. Now, this transit can be powerful opportunity for healing and growth, as it prompts you to confront and address any patterns or beliefs that are holding you back from expressing your true self or connecting with others in a more authentic and fulfilling way. It's important to approach any conflicts or challenges with constructive and compassionate mindset, and to prioritize self-care and emotional healing during this transit. You may also find that this transit brings opportunities for new social connections and creative collaborations that are more aligned with your values and passions. So ultimately, this transit can be transformative time in your social and creative life and can help you break free from old patterns and beliefs that are no longer serving you. Mars enters Cancer May 10th and will be there until July 1st. Let's see here. May 10th. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Mars. Okay, so Mars moves into Cancer March 25th. Mars moves into Cancer March 25th. I don't know why I put May 10th, but maybe let me see. May 10th. Okay, May 10th is when it conjuncts your Mars. So you have a Mars return. That's why I put May 10th. Yes, ma'am. So it'll be there until July 1st in Cancer. So now Mars is actually moving forward, having full momentum. So Mars will be transiting your 11th house in a different way, letting go of some old relationships and friendships. May 10th is when Mars moves into the 12th house, but it had already entered into Cancer in your 11th house. So that's why I said that when it enters into Cancer in your 11th house, it's just going to affect you a different way, which is at the end of March. Like I said, March, I think 28th. So this is like letting go of some old relationships, friendship, family members, going with the ebb and flow and releasing control. So Mars will meet with your natal Uranus in the 11th before it enters into the 12th house. So this transit could be more challenging, as it will also trigger. So it's triggering your Uranus, and then it's going to return to your natal Mars. So it's like it's called a Mars, your natal Mars return. The 12th house of the unconscious and dreams, addictions, hopes, wishes, hidden enemies, secrets, and intuition. So Mars will be triggering your 8th house, because no, it's going to be triggering your 8th house. Yeah, your 9th house. 8th and 9th house. Because Mars is the ruler of your 9th house. Okay. Mars transiting out of Gemini into Cancer in your natal 11th house. So I'm going to talk a little more about this stuff. So when Mars transits out of Gemini into Cancer in your 11th house, you may experience a shift in your energy and focus towards your social connections and community involvements. In the 11th house is associated with friends and groups and organizations. So this transit can bring a more like assertive and action-oriented approach to your social life. But with the Cancer energy, you may consider a more compassionate approach with your friends, not just like more surface talk. Maybe it's more like deep, talking more, like being more connected with their home and their family and their roots. When Mars transits Cancer in your natal 11th house, you can expect to have more energy and focus on your new social connections, friendships, and group activities. Mars represents your drive, ambition, and action-oriented energy, and the 11th house is your friendships. So during this transit, you may feel more motivated to take a leadership role in your social circles and may feel like a stronger desire to get involved with group activities and organizations. You may also find yourself feeling more assertive and confident in expressing your ideas and opinions within these contexts. This transit can also bring opportunities for your social connections, for new social connections, or for strengthening existing friendships and relationships. Like I said, being more personal. Let's see, you may feel more energized and authentic about socializing and meeting new people, and may find that your social life is more active and engaging during this time. 333, synchronicity. However, it's important to be aware of the potential for conflicts or power struggles within your social circles during this time. Mars can be sometimes like too confrontational, right? It's like overpowering. Important to use assertive and intuition in a constructive way that benefits both yourself and your social connections. Overall, this transit can be a positive and transformative time for your social life, community involvement. It's important to stay aware of your needs and boundaries and to approach any challenges or conflicts with constructive and compassionate mindset. Okay. So Mars will conjunct your Uranus in your 11th house on April 17th. So this could be even like some unexpected like blowout. It could even be like a friendship or maybe, I don't know what it could be, but it definitely has a very explosive, unexpected thing happening. Maybe something blindsides you in that area of friendships and groups and networks and stuff. And then Mars will enter your 12th house. So finally out of your 11th house where it's been since like last summer, March 5th. So definitely write that date down, April and then March 10th. So during this transit, you may feel more motivated to take a leadership type role. Oh no, okay, so I already did that. Okay, so Pluto enters Aquarius March 23rd and will be there until June 12th, conjunct your natal Pallas. So Pluto at 0 degrees conjunct your natal Pallas Athena is a creative genius that touches on your father-daughter issues linked to your head and heart. You know, I already did this one. Easily present yourself as an authority figure. Maybe when I copied and paste was trying to like put it in order, it kind of slipped in there. So yeah, we already did the Pluto. Now Pluto retrograde in the 6th house opposite your natal Mars in the 12th and transits Mars opposite your natal Chiron. Now Pluto retrogrades from Aquarius back into Capricorn in your 6th house. Okay, no, I did this one too. Yes, ma'am. All right, now on to the exciting eclipses for 2023. Eclipses are huge shifts, unexpected events and changes. And so you have a lot in April. I'm just gonna say that, because with Mars transiting Mars conjunct your natal Uranus in the 11th house of community and groups and friendships, there's definitely going to be something popping off there, because I know we have an eclipse in April. So let's see. Nothing stays the same. This too shall pass. So the solar eclipse is April 19th. And I think that Mars conjunct Uranus was like April 17th. So that's going to be some crazy energy. I would definitely want to write that date down, just so you're not blindsided. So that's April 16th is when Mars is on Uranus. And so you want to take it slow too. You don't want to be rushing around. Accidents could happen during that type of transit. And the solar eclipse is on the 19th, right after. And this new moon eclipse is happening for you in your 9th house of like your beliefs, your spiritual beliefs, but it's also foreign lands. It's what you believe. It's like you're furthering your education. It's your education. It's like what you know too. So, and it's opposite Saturn in your 2nd house, and loosely opposes Neptune in your 3rd house. So the eclipse is square to your natal Mars as well. So there is a lot of aspects happening at the end of April, and mid-April, I guess. This would be mid-April. Yeah, okay. So definitely the eclipse will occur in the sign of Aries, which is associated with new beginnings and action and independence. The square aspect to your natal Mars in Cancer in the 12th house can suggest that this eclipse could bring up challenges or tension related to your hidden or subconscious desires, fears, and past experiences. The 12th house is often associated with spirituality, dreams, and the unconscious. Well, Mars is associated with action, motivation, and assertion. The square aspect can indicate a time of tension, conflict between these two energies. The eclipse could represent a time of inner conflict and struggle, as you confront hidden and repressed emotions or desires. It may also be a time when you feel more driven to take action towards your goals, but face obstacles or challenges that require you to confront your fears and limitations. This could be a time of transformation and growth if you are able to work through these challenges and tap into your inner strength and motivation. The eclipse will also form an opposition aspect with your natal Saturn in the 2nd house, which can indicate a time of tension and conflict between the themes represented by these two houses. So your 2nd house is your value. So the 8th house is often associated with your shared resources, transformation, intimate relationships, and it's 29 degrees of Aries. So it's in your 9th house. Okay, where was I? The 8th house is often associated with shared resources, transformation, intimate relationships, while the 2nd house is associated with transformation in your relationships, finances, and values. It is also bringing up challenges or obstacles that you will need to overcome in order to achieve your goals. So the eclipse is a new moon eclipse. So something new is conspiring. Saturn's in your 2nd house, which is your value and your resources and how you provide for yourself. And Neptune's in your 3rd house of communication and short distance travel. And then it's squaring your natal Mars in your 12th house of the unconscious. So yeah, this could be a challenging one. Even though it's new, it could be challenging just in the area of just like releasing your fears over like what you value and stuff like that. Let me see. What you value, your unconscious stuff, and then being able to really accept that gift and that expansion, because the ninth house is ruled by the luckiest planet, Jupiter, you know, but like in your natal chart, it's ruled by Mars. And so Mars is being triggered by Uranus. So I don't know, there could be some unexpected good things that are coming your way. And I know there is definitely a lot of good stuff coming your way, but there's also some challenging aspects. So only time will tell. Lunar eclipse, May 5th at 14 degrees of Scorpio. So 14 degrees of Scorpio is in the 4th house of home. Now, lunar eclipses are are full moons. And so there's some kind of completion happening around the fourth house. So this is your home, your roots, your mother. It's like the moon, your moon's at 16 degrees. So this full moon is on your moon. I mean, this is somewhat of a lunar return eclipse, but it's not exact, but it's still conjunct. So it's still intense and transformative. Moon soul, emotion, how you feel safe and how you are nurtured, opposing your MC. So your career. There's definitely, some opposition happening here. Full moon eclipse is May 5th. And this is when the earth will be between the sun and the moon, casting a shadow on the moon. So this eclipse will occur in the sign of Scorpio, which is associated with transformation, deep emotions, and power. The conjunction of the eclipse to your natal moon can indicate a time of heightened emotions, intuition, and sensitivity. This can be a time to pay attention to your inner needs and desires and to seek emotional fulfillment. Understand your security is within you. Think like the crab. If you need to move, remember, you bring your home with you. They say the home is where the heart is, but you have to be comfortable with yourself, regardless of the physical home or the people that are in it. Okay. The opposition of this eclipse to your midheaven, which is associated with your career reputation and your public image, can indicate a time of tension or conflict between your personal life and your professional goals. This could be a time when you need to balance your emotional needs and desires with the career aspirations, or to find a way to integrate these two aspects in your life more effectively. You may experience challenges or instability in your home life or family relationships, which may require your attention. If you do, it's important to prioritize balancing your emotional needs and your personal life with your career goals and your aspirations to navigate your inner and emotional turmoil that may arise. So, this kind of reminds me of my situation, because we do have a lot of the same aspects and transits happening, because we're both rising Leos and predictions are based on our rising. Let me see. Yeah, so you're more at the end of Leo and I'm more at the beginning. So we're going to experience things at the different times. I think I experienced things first. So just for an example, like what I just went through, my aunt, which is like my sister, passed away in December. But my family waited so long to have, and until like all the holidays were over and everything. And then we just had her memorial like a week ago. Okay. And so I was helping plan this and supporting my family in it. And it was just like all this, all this work that I had to do too, like people wanting readings. And I also have a professional organizing and housekeeping business. And so like my family really needed me and like had to go to Nevada and like help out over there. My parents live in Tahoe, my grandparents are my parents. And then I had people staying with me, like my aunt's kids. And so, because she was young, I mean, she was only 52. So that's just an example of like these eclipses and these energies that are opposing the fourth house of home and the 10th house of career, and like being able to balance both of them, right? So let's see. Next slide. Solar eclipse. Okay, this is a new moon. I love new moons. October 14th is happening at 21 degrees of Libra. So 21 degrees of Libra is in your third house of communication, short distance travel, your siblings, your cousins, and also your natal Neptune is there, which makes it, kind of like um, nebulous, meaning you're not seeing things clearly. But the new moon eclipse is in your third house of communication, short distance travel, writing, journalism, siblings, and cousins. So this is actually a really good time. It could just be like, oh, well, you're moving along with your writing. Okay. It's conjunct your Neptune, so stay grounded, and it's opposite your natal Jupiter. Because your Jupiter is in Aries. So it's opposite that. So your Jupiter's at 14 degrees and this eclipse is happening at 21 degrees. So it's a nice conjunction. That is an opposition for your Jupiter, right? So eclipses create changes in the area of the chart it's transiting. So this is a new beginning, because we had the full moon already, and we had another new moon in the new moon eclipse in your ninth house of belief, and then we had the full moon that happened in your fourth house of home, and now we're having a new moon eclipse in your third house of like how we're moving about our environment and short distance travel and stuff like that. Solar eclipse are new moons on steroids. It indicates a new beginning. So the solar eclipse occurs when the moon passes between the sun and the earth, and it's blocking the light of the sun, casting a shadow on earth. The effect of the solar eclipse sets the stage for the next 6-month cycle, and that's every eclipse. Okay, so you want to look at the lunar eclipse. That's the 6-month cycle, closing a chapter, and then also the solar eclipse is 6 months. Does not change. So this one will be on October 14th, and this will emphasize themes related to your relationships, partnerships, and harmony. This eclipse can bring new beginnings in your communication, learning, or social interactions, since it's taking place in your third house. Now, the conjunction of the solar eclipse with the natal Neptune suggests that there may be some confusion or uncertainty surrounding these new beginnings, and you may need to rely on your intuition and creativity to navigate the changes that come with this eclipse. Opposing your natal Jupiter in the ninth house. The solar eclipse may be bringing up themes related to your belief system, spirituality, and philosophy. You may need to examine your beliefs and values to see if they're in line with your current goals and aspirations. But overall, this powerful time of new beginning in your communication, in your learning, in your social interacting, also journalism, writing, all that stuff, like how you stay busy, how you put your mind to work. It's a time to trust your intuition, creativity, examine your beliefs and values, and ensure that they're aligned with your current path. Now, the lunar eclipse is happening on October 28th. So the full moon eclipse is in your ninth house. So it's like a full circle, right? So we had the first eclipse was in your ninth house. And now the last eclipse of the year is in your ninth house. So the full moon eclipse in the 9th house of your belief, spirituality, and what you know, education, and like foreign travel. Conjunct your MC of career and legacy. Wow. Okay. That's exciting. Yeah, it is conjunct. So this eclipse occurs when the sun passes between the sun and the moon, casting a shadow on the moon and blocking its light. When the lunar eclipse in your 9th house, you may experience changes related to your belief systems, spirituality, and higher education. This is a time when you may be questioning your current beliefs and seeking new knowledge and experience that align more closely with your values and aspirations. The lunar eclipse in Taurus, which is changes, are related to your finances, resources, material possessions, and your beliefs around stability, security, and your value. There is a trine to your natal Saturn in the 2nd house, suggesting these changes may be beneficial for your financial stability and security. You may be able to take practical steps to improve your financial situation and build a solid foundation for your future. Yeah, so I mean, there's definitely something going on here because it's like a completion. There's definitely a highlight. It's also highlighting your career. A lot of highlighting your career. And it's like sets the stage for the next 6-month cycle. So that's exciting. I think actually within that 6-month cycle after this eclipse is when I was seeing the best time to launch your book. So I don't think it was done here though. Lunar eclipse. Okay. Yeah. The conjunction with your natal MC midheaven suggests that these changes may be related to your career and public image. You may be reconsidering your career path or seeking new opportunities to allow you to express your beliefs and values more fully. And that's probably through your book. Overall, it's a time of reflection and realignment with your higher purpose, practical matters related to your finances and material possession. It's an opportunity to explore new belief systems, seek out new knowledge and experiences related to improving your financial situation, and build a solid foundation for your future, aligning your career path with those values. All right, so charging what you're worth, Deborah, in a nutshell. Progressions. Now, progressions are our natal planets and how they evolve with us. So, like, when you were born, okay, you were like a day old, right? And now what? You're like maybe 72, I think. And so the planets evolve with you because they move with you. So we're always progressing and becoming. We experience new energies within, always lurking in the undercurrents of our existence. So like progressions are like little subcategories to our natal planets. And so when I'm saying Mars and Venus is conjunct Virgo in the 2nd house, I'm talking about your progressed planets. There is a huge focus with your masculine and feminine energy is like resetting in Virgo in your 2nd house. So you're like learning a lot about like being able to provide for yourself, like resources and value yourself. Like, oh, well, it's like not settling for just like the cheaper thing or whatever. Like, oh, you know what? I want this because I could afford it. I work hard. Or, oh, you know what? I think I'm going to, get my hair done. But, I've always wanted that balayage, but I knew it was always so much, but I'm going to get it. You're kind of at the point of like Mars and Venus rolling together, where our values and our drive are aligned. Masculine and feminine energies are in unity. When you do it, you like it. And the more that you put out there, the more that you want to do it. And then some more and more. So that's how it goes. I mean, you could reread that sentence. Okay. It's like right here. When you do it, you like it. And the more you put out there, the more you want to do it and some more. So Pluto is in a new cycle and journey, transforming your identity and how you appear to others, which is with much power and ambition towards your future plans. So your progressed Pluto has just popped into your first house, which is nuts. Like Pluto in the first house, you want to really be careful in what you assume or think about others, right? Because let's say you just don't trust. You just don't trust others. And with Pluto in the first house, and you're like, oh yeah, I can't be friends with that person because, you know, they're gonna steal from me or whatever. I'm just giving you an example. And you think about it, and then they do, because it's like you manifest it. And that's Pluto in the first house. You want to be really careful about what kind of projections that you're putting out there, because you can manifest it. So you want to just be really positive. Now your progressed ascendant is in Libra, which is moving you towards your destiny of partnership and harmony and justice, which is like, so it's like nuts. Saturn, ascendant, Neptune, Sun, and Mercury are all in the third house of communications, writing, journalism, and active daily errands. Like, there's no wonder why you're ready to write that book. I mean, you have all these planets in the third house of communication. Yeah. So Mars and Venus opposite your natal north node. So the progressed Mars and Venus are triggering your destiny. It's that time. So the Venus and Mars in opposition with your natal north node in astrology can suggest a time of tension and conflict between your desire for action and achievement, Mars, as well as your desire for financial stability, pleasure, and social harmony, Venus, and your spiritual path and karmic destiny, which is north node. It's aligning. It's triggering. If there's no aspect, there's not much. There's nothing to say if there's no aspect, right? The North Node represents your spiritual growth and evolution in the path that we are meant to follow in this lifetime. It represents the lessons that you're here to learn and the qualities you need to cultivate in order to achieve your highest potential. Mars represents your drive, ambition, and physical energy. Venus, on the other hand, represents your desires for abundance and pleasure and harmony. The opposition between the progressed Mars, Venus, and the natal North Node can create a sense of restlessness or frustration, as if you are pulled in two different directions. You may feel a strong desire to take action and seek pleasure in connecting with others, pursue your goals, but also feel a sense of resistance or conflict when it comes to aligning your actions with your spiritual path. The opposition can also be a powerful catalyst for growth and change. You may be forced to confront or overcome any inner conflicts or obstacles that are preventing you from fully expressing your true self and fulfilling your karmic destiny. Now, progressions aren't always going to be obvious to us. When Pluto entered into your first house and conjuncted your ascendant, so that's kind of where it is. When progressed Pluto transits your first house, conjunct your ascendant in astrology, it's a significant time of transformational growth and empowerment in your life. The first house represents your self-image, identity, physical appearance, while the ascendant and the rising sign is the zodiac sign that is rising on the Eastern hemisphere when you were born. But the ascendant is associated with your outward appearance and the way that you appear to others, like the way people perceive you. And the planet that is sitting on how people perceive you is a planet of transformation power. So people are seeing you as a very deep and powerful person. It's bringing up this deep-seated issues related to also your identity and yourself and your sense of self. You may undergo a profound transformation that alters your self-image in a way that you present yourself to the world. You know, so you know, when let's say if someone passes away that we're really close to, that we identify a lot of ourselves with, we have a hard time like, okay, well now, I mean, now who I am, like, who am I? Let's say if your whole identity was wrapped around, let's say your mother, taking care of your mother, let's just say. And maybe you took care of your mother, maybe, someone took care of their mother and that's all they did. And let's say the mother passes away and that person's whole identity was wrapped around taking care of their mother. Maybe she had dementia or something, right? And so all of a sudden, now you're having a transformation in the area of your identity, because you're like, oh, well, now who am I? What do I like to do? I've been taking care of my mother this whole time, and like opens up like a whole new world, right? So death can bring a lot of transformation in positive ways too. So even though you don't know it, like my grandma, she was taking care of my aunt for a few years, and when my aunt passed away, it was just like, oh, my grandma was like, now what do I do? And she was just like so bored, like she was just like upset, crying all the time, because a lot of her identity was taking care of her daughter. So this transit can bring up issues related to power, control, and personal empowerment. You may become more assertive and confident in expressing your true self and asserting your boundaries. This transit can also be associated with a period of intense self-discovery and self-exploration as you delve into the deeper aspects of your psyche and uncover hidden truths about yourself. Overall, this is a powerful time of transformation and growth. It's an opportunity to embrace your true self and assert your personal power, even in the face of challenges and obstacles. The transformational effect of this transit can be long-lasting and deeply impactful on your sense of self and your spiritual path. Now, the ascendant in Libra, Neptune, Sun, and Mercury in the first house, opposite the natal Jupiter. Yeah, because all those things are in Libra. The ascendant, the sun, Mercury, and Neptune. So, but it's in your natal third house, okay, of communication, writings, and stuff like that. So when your progressed ascendant is in Libra, it suggests a period of increased focus on relationships, harmony, and balance in your life. You may be more concerned with finding balance and harmony in your personal and professional relationships, as well as your overall approach to life. The fact that your progressed Neptune, Sun, and Mercury are transiting your first house at the same time suggests a time of increased self-awareness and self-expression. You may be exploring new aspects of your personality and expressing yourself in new ways, and you may be more in tune with your intuition and creative pulses. The opposition between your progressed ascendant and your natal Jupiter in the 7th house can suggest a tension between your desire for harmony and balance in your relationships and your need for personal growth and expansion. You may be struggling to find a balance between your own needs and desires and the needs of others in your life. Overall, this is a time of significant personal growth and exploration for you. You may be questioning your beliefs and values and exploring new ideas of thinking and being. It's important to maintain a balance between your personal needs and the needs of others in your life, and to be aware of any tendency to sacrifice your own needs in order to keep the peace. With the support of this progressed Sun and Mercury, as well as your increased intuition and creativity, you have the tools to navigate this period of growth and transformation successfully. Now, Uranus is conjunct your MC Cancer, which is this time, the time of significant change and innovation in your career and social life. Like this is like repeating. It's like God is definitely doing its works in that area, or goddess. It's an opportunity to break free from old patterns and forge your own unique path, but it may also bring up unexpected challenges and disruptions in the area of home and career. So Uranus will support innovative and creative energies, and the potential is there to make significant strides within your career and public recognition. Now, here's the book launch time, and finally the end. I know it was super long, dude. I had like, I don't know, like 86 slides, 82 slides or something like that. It was probably like one of my longest readings, but there was just like so much that I saw going on, and it all drilled into the top of your sky. Now, here is your chart, your natal birth chart's here in the middle. And this is the book launch day that I recommend. Now, you can launch whenever you please, whenever you want. However, astrologically speaking, in my advice and experience and my knowledge, is when February 18th, 2024. So it gives you a year really to write your book on your own with all these crazy eclipses and all these crazy like new world stuff with the Pluto at 0 degrees C. So Pluto at 0 degrees here, you have Venus and Mars conjunct in your 6th house of work. You have the Sun, Saturn, and Mercury all transiting your 7th house of partnership, which is conjunct your destiny point. Look at Saturn manifesting your destiny here in the physical world. You have the Moon in Gemini in the 11th house. Gemini rules writings and teachings and publishing and journalism. And it's in your 11th house of future plans, networks, and social friends and groups and relationships. And you have, where's the ascendant? Well, I guess it depends on what time you launch would be the ascendant. But yeah, this looks amazing. So looking at the Jupiter on the MC, so here's Jupiter, the planet of luck and expansion, exactly conjunct your midheaven. Exactly. So you could even wait. I would wait like maybe the later time. So then Jupiter is after 57 degrees. So then it would be in your 10th house of career, but it doesn't matter because Jupiter is like really happy here too. So it could either be right here. Oh, the ascendant. This is the ascendant. The ascendant is also highlighting your 10th house and Taurus, which rules money and abundance and physical abundance. So I put Venus and Mars, Pluto and Aquarius, Pluto on your palace, North Node on Saturn, and 0 retrogrades. So all the retrogrades are done. See? No retrogrades. Extras. The Moon in Gemini, ruling communication, writing, journalism. I put journaling, but Sun in Aquarius, ruling the 7th house of partnerships and your destiny house. It's a good time, really, in between like February 10th and the 18th, because you want to launch in new moon cycles. So waxing from the new moon. So the new moon was when it was and so see the trine too. So you even have a sun moon trine with this date. So the moon, when it was here, was the new moon. So if the moon was here or here or here, the moon is best here, I think, in business, especially in Gemini trining the sun and Mercury. And Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. And yeah, I mean, this is beautiful. It is. Like, I'm so juiced for you. It's your time to shine. But yeah, so thank you for allowing me to read you. I'm excited for your success. If you're interested in my coaching to hold you accountable in attaining your goals, like your book, or just being an emotional support through all the transformations that you're going through, check out my coaching packages at LUCIDLIVINGMOVEMENT.com. And let's see here. Where's that thing? Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, it was like 85 slides. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gave you some new information and knowledge. And sometimes, you know, and most of the time, you already kind of feel things, right? You just don't, you just don't, you don't have, you can't put your finger on it. So, with all those dates and everything, I gave you all the dates for the eclipses, all the major dates that you need, and a book launch date. And then also, if you'd like to do like, if you want to do more in depth, like transit readings, like mini readings throughout the year, let me know. But in my coaching packages, I will naturally do that. Like when we're talking, I'll be like, oh, like this is happening here and this is happening here. Let's focus on this. Or like, yeah, there's going to be some days where you're not going to feel like doing much. Let's not do anything on that day. Use that day for relaxation and stuff like that. So that's kind of how I do my coaching too, is like working with the natural energies. But if you refer a friend, you will get a free card reading or a mini monthly reading. So if you refer a friend to me and they order a reading from me, then you will get a free card reading or a mini monthly reading. Or you could use that towards my coaching. So you'd get like, you know, like a discount on my coaching package. But that you can find that at www.lucidlivingmovement.com. And I am going to close with a card reading because everyone that orders a reading from me gets a free card reading. Oh, let me go on a quick little potty break and I will get right back. Ooh, yeah. All right, Deborah, I'm going to start off with the Flower of Life deck. So this is for Deborah, what she has to look forward to this year, any messages from her guides. Be peace. Love is beyond thoughts, feelings, and emotions. It is a state of being, an expression of the all, fully experienced by being in each moment. Don't think about being in the moment, just be in the moment. Be the courageous, loving being you are. Step out of your shadows of your past. All that matters is what you do in each moment. Make today the best day of your life by deciding your life is yours to live in whatever way is meaningful to you. You brought yourself to this life and you are responsible for the quality of it. No more pulling and pushing what you like or don't like. No more resistance from this cause suffering and pain. From this moment, you can choose to be at peace and in the flow of love, no matter what is going on around you. Today, the life that you have truly wanted beginnings. So that's a nice card. Now I'm going to pull from the Gaia Oracle because I always like pulling these for fellow fire signs because of the fiery heart. And that's the Leo heart. I actually got this deck from my Leo friend. I think she's a July Leo. I think she's July 29th. Attachment, letting go, restriction, and fear. So letting go. And then this one was turned over. That's weird. Okay. So attachment popped out. And then the message, positive news and positive outcome, was flipped over. So I'm going to go ahead and read this one because this is the main card. This is card number 8 and card number 28. You believe that you are in a situation that you cannot free yourself from. afraid to let go and walk away because of the deep sense of duty, commitment, or guilt. Perhaps you feel that you'll hurt or disappoint someone if you let go. Whatever the reason, you feel you have no choice but to stay where you are. The emotional attachment is great and the fear is overwhelming. The fact that you have picked this card today is no coincidence. The message is clear. You're being encouraged to face your fears. Do not listen to that fearful voice any longer. Beyond the fear is the space of love and light, which is guiding you and urging you to break free. Trust initially where will be some upheaval, but eventually all will turn out well for all concerned. You owe it to yourself and others. You deserve to feel light and free. Summon the power of love within you and ask it to guide you and give you the strength to do what you know is right. So the affirmation for this card is, I am free from all negative attachment. I am guided by the power of love. I look beyond my fears and I see only love. I deserve to be happy. I choose to follow my heart. And then the 28 card. Let's see. Sorry, my Virgo moon. Maybe I'm clear. Hold on. 28. The message. The anxious wait is nearly over and the time of celebration is near you. You will soon receive good news. This may come from a faraway land or it may come from someone close to you. In any case, the issue of major importance has a positive outcome. This may relate to you or someone dear to you. What a relief. You can now rest easy in the knowledge of it all. Thank you, universe, for blessing and giving thanks to the earth and stars. Whether we know it or not, we are surrounded always by unconditional love. I thank the earth, stars for every blessing. I give thanks for the love that fills and surrounds me. I am loved unconditionally by a benevolent universe. My mind is full of light and my heart is forever grateful. Wow. That is pretty on point with the astrology, right? A lot of transformations and a lot of letting go of fears. All right, so I'm going to do nature's path for Deborah. What would you like Deborah to know? There it is. Make a decision. Wow. 11. I love this card. Make a decision. Your sheer determination is highlighted at this time. Your spirit will support your desires and manifestations and the astrology. The ability to create or destroy has always been within your skill base. Oh, that Pluto that you have in Scorpio. You have the wisdom and confidence needed to use these skills constructively. Now is the time to act. If you know what it is that you want to accomplish and why, since the powers of transformation are at your command, change your desires into objectives, your thoughts into actions, and your goals into achievements. If you have recently met with failure, know that you can change that failure into success. The only limits that you have are those you impose on yourself. Wow, that is on point again. All right, let's pick out of the Mermaid Oracle for the Saturn transiting Pisces in your 7th house. Ah. For Deborah, what can she expect for the Saturn transit for the next 3 years in her 7th house? Saturn in her 7th house. Okay. Adrift, let go and allow higher forces to take charge at the time. Card 27. What is it to be without direction, without self-determination, without a sense of empowerment? Is it always disempowering? So this card invites you to contemplate the many aspects of letting go. And as so many of the humans say, so many times it has become a cliche going with the flow. Sometimes for all of our strength and purpose, we mermaids just let go for a time, especially if there has been great turmoil and we are weak. So the adrift card suggests that there is a sense of making an effort at all at the moment, that you may be safe and unable, or wait, no, that you may be safe and able to float, but it is up to the tides and cycles and to the waves and the wind to determine your destination. It can also suggest that there is a lack of urgency for you at the moment, that you are willing to totally complaint and to see what happens next. And yet, this is a choice too. You can always paddle. You can choose to lie down, turn your face to the clouds, and drink the water from the sky when you choose to come, to allow your fate to be decided for you. And sometimes this is right and good. It is sometimes humbling and can create wisdom. The wisdom that comes with observation and stillness and a sense of sacrificing yourself to a power greater than yourself. There is no longer an anchor. There is no sail. There are no oars, and there is no map. There's only the floating world of which you are a part. So the deviation for this card would be refusing to attempt to change things, allowing yourself to surrender to the situation and see where it takes you. A kind of peaceful passivity, and in the oceanic way, allowing the cycles to make a decision on your behalf. This can indicate too that you have no desire to make decisions, only to drift and to float and to allow whatever outcome that will be. It is as if there is no moving forward and no retreat, just a moment by moment acceptance of all that is taking place, and a very gentle, almost imperceivable willingness to let the tide and the current take you where it will. You are adrift, and you are somehow akin to Odin, hanging on to the tree of life. Will you be taken to shore? Will you remain at sea? Will you fade and vanish? What is it you should do? This is not even a question that you're asking yourself. It seems that you have made a powerful choice for suspicion to rest, to not do, for nothingness, for allowing what is around you to determine for now the fate of yourself. So this is another letting go and going with the flow. Like the first card was like living moment to moment. And like maybe it's just letting go of outcome and living in the present moment and in whatever that your project that you're working on, whether that's writing. Don't worry about the success. Don't worry about this or the launch and whatever, but the journey. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the writing of this book and the obstacles that you have to overcome daily to really like make that happen. Whether it's like you wake up, you light a candle, you sit and you meditate for 20 minutes, and then you write a page, okay? Or you do that in the evening. So making it a ritual and something that you do daily in being in the moment. I'm going to pull from my Alice in Wonderland deck. It's one of my favorite decks. All right, Deborah, this is for Deborah, Alice in Wonderland, this Neptunian stuff going on. the Neptunian triggers. Who in the world are you? Getting to know the new you. Ooh, that is so on point. I got chills. So on point. This one is card 19. Because 19 is a 1 in numerology. This is new beginnings. This is a new you, with Pluto especially transiting your first house, and a lot of focus on how you want to be seen in the world. Yep. Who in the world am I? Oh, that's a great puzzle. When you receive this card, you are being asked to rediscover yourself through the asking of that all important question, who am I? As Alice is so wisely says, that's the great puzzle. So many people go through life being who they think that they are, or who others say that they are, or who they think they ought to be, when who they truly are is submerged beneath conformity, habits, stereotypes, cultural expectations, and other people's opinions. This card is asking you to ask this question and to assume just for a moment that you may not know just who you are. This is an invitation to go beneath the rules and the assumptions. Allow your true self to slowly ascend and emerge from beneath the sultrifying feedback of the world and to be once again. When this card comes to you, is a wonderful opportunity to live from your heart of yourself once more, to question all that you think you are and to find out who you are right now. You may wish to meditate on this question or to find out who you are in the new places with the new people. You may like to start over, to incarnate in a way that you may wish to travel, undergo some therapy, journal, or have heartfelt conversations about how we become who we are in any given moment. Treat this like a wonderful adventure and an opportunity to forget what you think you know. Rather than going along with beliefs, aim to truly see yourself. Puzzle out once again a rebirth into your new self. So the deviation for this card is a fascination with getting to know yourself again, growing into a new self, defying assumptions about who you are, exploration of self, questioning who you have been told you are, changing at a very deep level, and the readiness to evolve and experiment to come to greater self knowledge. And this is a lot of what your reading was about, right? And yeah, that, I mean, that would be kind of cool too, to if you, let's say you wanted to go to foreign lands. Let's say you want to go to like some island in Thailand and decide that you're going to stay there for like 2 months to write your book and just to be one and just go through that. I mean, that definitely, the astrology looks like something similar to that, right? Because you're leaving your comforts of your home, your fourth house, to do something for yourself, to finish a book so you can really focus. I mean, I know a lot of people that write, that have wrote books, like good authors that like take a time out to go somewhere away from home to write, because you feel more inspired too. It could even be like your astrocartography too. Like we could look for good places for you to go to get more inspired to write, like see where your Mercury line is and stuff like that. So if you're interested, let me know. Reflect. This is my Shadows of Fate deck. It's probably one of my most expensive decks just because it's like so pretty, like, and it's like soft cards. High quality. Reflect. 84. 84. Without a reflective practice, We end up repeating the same pattern over and over again until we reach our potential. This card asks you to sit in silence for a few moments and reflect upon what has been coming up for you recently. What emotions do you find yourself experiencing continuously? What situations do you find yourself in often? If you are finding unease in the area of your life, have you experienced it before? When? When was the first time you remembered feeling this way? How did your family handle these sorts of situations when you were young? Consider journaling around these questions and allowing whatever needs to come up and out. When we reflect, the intention is not to fix, but simply to view ourselves and our lives with less bias and more openness. It's the swans. So the swan is a very helpful companion when doing reflective work, as they encourage us to be gentle with ourselves, reminding us that transformation is always possible. She likes you to explain how you treat yourself when doing internal work. Is it with a sense of shame or harshness, or do you approach it with a sense of wonder and gentleness? Call upon the spirit of swan to hold loving space for you and to guide you in cultivating tenderness towards yourself. Beautiful. All right. So I think I will pick one more oracle card and then I'll close with the tarot and rolling the dice. That's always fun for channeled messages. All right. Whoa, the mouse. The mouse. We're done with the year of the mouse in the Chinese New Year. We're in the tiger. We have the dog, I think the mouse, the tiger, I don't know. You're overlooking some important details, so pay closer attention to what's going on. That's what the mouse is saying. Let's see if I have a card for the mouse. Oh yeah, I do. Pay closer attention to other people's body language, how they move, their gestures, facial expressions, and general posture. When you focus not only on what individuals are saying, but also as their body language, you'll find that you have considerably more information that you can use to understand what you're really communicating, what they're really communicating. For body language typically reveals far more about people than what they're verbally expressing. Sit back wherever there are people around and simply observe for a while. I do this all the time. Look to see if what others say is congruent with their body language and watch for any discrepancies. In other words, don't always take people for their word. Yep. What is it? There's a saying my mom used to say, the actions speak louder than words. The proof is in the pudding. Also, pay closer attention to agreements and contracts right now. Take your time to completely understand any agreement, finding out as much as you can by asking questions and consulting friends and experts to get their advice. Be careful, however, not to get bogged down in too much detail. Walk the fine line between scrutinizing a contract, verbal ones included, for an ornate amount of time, thus remaining stuck in indecisiveness due to your need to be 100% certain that you've covered everything, and rushing into something impulsively and reflectively based on emotional appeal. So just telling you that to pay attention closer to the details. This is definitely a Virgo card. Yes, 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 yes. And your Venus and your Mercury are in this Virgo in the second house. So I'm going to roll the dice. Oh my God. 10th house Mercury, Aquarius. There's a lots of changes, a lot of partnerships, a lot of business partnerships. There's just going to be a lot of a lot of communication and a lot of information based around your business partners, business partnerships. Oh, the emperor, it's also business partner, right? Whoa, the 8 of Wands. It's definitely some things that are being thought about. The 5 of Pentacles, okay, definitely has to do with your work, like how you're making a living, how you're making money. I'm gonna stick with those. I'm gonna go to my next deck. Any clarifiers? What's that? The Page of Wands. Writing, creativity, and enthusiasm. Great. It's a great card for you're writing the book. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, the 5 of Cups. Okay. All right. So I got good cards. I'm just going to read these how they come out, how they came out. Okay. So this is the Emperor. He came out reversed, which has to do, this way is authority in establishment, like structure, right? Like structure, like your work. This is excessive control, lack of discipline, and instability. So this card came out. Okay. So, and this card is saying that you want to stay on track. You want to stay on purpose. Like I said, like you might have experienced some, let's say, some delays, okay? Or maybe some instability in your practice where you want to create more stability, because this is fast paced. This is movement, and this is action, and this is change. And this is in the area of career and partnerships. And this is the 5 of Pentacles, which is also reverse, which is recovery from financial loss and spiritual poverty. So maybe there was some time when you didn't have a lot of income coming in, and so you're having a hard time with like your finances, right? And so this is going to be something of the past. Now the Page of Wands is about inspiration, ideas, discovery, free spirit. But when it came out this way, this is newly formed ideas, redirecting energy, self-limiting beliefs, and a spiritual path. So maybe because you've been so stuck in this energy of like the lack of and having business and stuff like that, it's hard to see, because like literally you have to live by faith and not by sight in the new world. And like, especially with all these great transits that you have to look forward to coming up here in the next like year cycle, that you got to focus on that and have faith that that is going to happen with your help, right? So just getting past any blocks that you might have. This is personal setbacks, self-forgiveness, and moving on. So there might have been like an emotional situation that set you back, and you're just going to have to just live in the moment like those other cards did, go with the flow, because there is a lot of transformation. There is a lot of death and rebirth. There is a lot of new beginnings for you, but in order for those new beginnings to come in, you need to let go of what's holding you back, anything that comes up, and understand it's all a part of the journey into coming into yourself. Now, this is a great card. This is a wealth card, and this is also financial security, family, and long-term success. So there's definitely some things coming in for you financially. And the 9 of Cups came out, and it was reverse. So this is like contentment, satisfaction, and gratitude, like wishes coming true. Like there's so many emotional cups emotionally, but when the cups are upside down, it's all gone. Like there's like no appreciation. There's more like dissatisfaction or material wealth. But this could also this could also mean that finding your happiness within yourself, because that's what I was getting from your reading. Remember I said that be like a crab, like your home is on your back. So don't worry about where you go. You're always going to find your home, because your home is within yourself. It's within your heart, and you're never alone, because we have like the ultimate universe always by our side. Like we can't always see like the other side, but it's there. And so I'm going to end with one of these meditation cards. So you can meditate on this the next time that you meditate. And it's perseverance, the motivation to keep going despite the odds, because nothing is ever will come without challenge. Okay. So, and like the two anthology books that I wrote, I had the death of my dog and the death of my father. And so there's always going to be like some challenges when you are living your best life and you are on your path and you're helping others heal, because there is this balance and dichotomy in the world. So the higher that you're vibrating, then the more the opposing side is trying to balance that energy within, because that's just a part of the way physics and the universe works. So you just want to understand that is that the higher that you go and the higher that you're vibrating and the more that you are putting out positive energy, then potentially you have the darker or negative energy that has to balance the positive energy. And so you just keep that in mind, that it's about transmuting that negative energy into something positive, being like, oh, okay, well, I lost my father, but I'm going to transmute this energy into like focusing my energy on doing something positive for myself and for the world. Like I'm helping make positive change within the world. So with that being said, thank you for choosing me to do your reading and trusting me. And I look forward to working with you in the future. And like I said, if you know any friends that you think that could benefit from a reading, go ahead and pass them my information. You will get reinforced. And if you feel like doing a YouTube video, I'd like to get to know you a little bit more and what your goals are and what your mission. That would be a fun little project. If you have time, let me know. We could like schedule something in your books. All right. And peace out. Thank you, Deborah. Bye.